Well, you know what, guys? The lease on the well is almost up, and we're going to get to see the sun soon.
Oh my gosh. It's been so long.
It's been 2 full years and a little bit more. But finally, the Wonka Rapture is nigh. Meaning, when this comes out, the movie's coming out in like 2 days. I know. Isn't that spooky? We're recording this significantly in advance because we have a lot of work to do, packing up the well and taking a nice little plane flight to watch the movie because there's no cinemas in the Ohio wilderness, which is a bummer. So we got to get a plane chartered.
Yeah, because again, we've only had DVDs.
Only DVDs, yeah.
So it's been...
Now I want to be clear, like, the way I said this, it sounds like the podcast is ending tomorrow. It's not. Don't worry. We're going to need to decompress about this movie for a good little bit.
We just need it to be, like, in a canopy, like, right next to the well. Like, we can still look down the well and be like, hey.
Well, we're in the Wonka treehouse now.
Wonka treehouse. Look at that. We've been slowly sending up designs to whatever local architects there are. We're hoping. And we have heard word that, like, they're putting the final touches on it. So I can't wait to see all the specific details. And you know what a treehouse is? Perfect height for a giraffe to say hello. But not low enough to milk it, and that's honestly good. We don't want that. That's for the best. That's not our energy. We don't want that. We've never wanted that. No. And you know what's also great about a treehouse? Still inaccessible to the public.
Exactly.
Still
There's
pretty
still
hard to
an element
access.
of remove. Instead of going down, we're going up.
Yeah. It's like we're warming up with our hermit
It's
vibes,
still a deeply inhospitable place to live.
No. But we'll finally get vitamin D again.
That's true.
So long.
That's been a real issue.
Pale. You can see all my veins, you know? And that's going to be beautiful. And that sunshine is post-movie. That's what the Wonka Rapture will do.
We're ascending. Not to heaven, to the treehouse.
Yeah, we're not... This is not a cult. Also, we're not... This isn't one of those things.
It's not a cult.
It's not a cult. It's a well in a treehouse and some pizza rolls.
It's just an HGTV show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wonka Watch. This is the podcast where we... my God. Where we watch all the Wonka shit leading up to the Wonka movie. And this is the last one of that era of Wonka Watch.
Oh, God.
This is our the last time you're seeing us pre-Wonka.
We got some big smiles on our faces.
Track. Yeah. Except for the Dune commentary track. But this is us, your last time seeing us pre-Wonka, which is insane.
That's so wild.
I want to be very clear to the audience. We're recording this December 3rd. So there's going to be a significant blind spot in the Wonka Watch news. Our lives are just crazy. So that's how we had to make it work. We're going to be seeing the film the 17th, and the episode of us talking about the movie will be coming out the 20th, a week from today. So, as this releases.
Wild.
So get fucking stoked. Get fucking ready.
Get your fire pokers. Start stoking it. Don't put the fires at the bottom of our treehouse, if you wouldn't mind.
Please.
Due to tree wood.
I'm Felicia. I'm Felicia.
And I'm Elaine.
If you haven't, maybe don't start with this one, I think, is what I would say. Maybe do start with this
honestly,
one.
I think this could be a really good... This is the reflection. And listen to this and then go back through our canon episodes. You'll see them.
Exactly.
They're very beginning. We got 1971, 2005 movie. We got the book, all the other shenanigans. That'll pretty much set you up.
The first episode where we fill out the John Lee Dumas podcast journal. Classic,
honestly,
that old
the first
chestnut.
episode, you know what, which I will always hold near and dear to my heart because I feel like that was like the perfect thesis statement for what this podcast is. And it's funny because I go back and I was so bitter about doing another podcast.
You were so bitter.
I was just like, I can't believe I'm doing this. It's like an oopsie pregnancy. I was like, oh God.
As if you didn't agree to it.
I was like delighted, but also like, I can't, like, there's no way I'm gonna...
you were drunk when you agreed to this.
That's true.
But yeah, 2 long years. I was 18 when we started. Now I'm 20. I know. That was crazy. That's
and then
crazy.
I would have been, 27. Now I'm 29. I'm almost 30.
Oh.
Ew. That's fucking gross.
But yeah, so today's episode is basically us just looking back, answering some big questions. What do we think is the best Wonka media? Because we've seen fucking all of them, some statistics. How much shit have we covered? Because it's too much. And I'm making our final predictions because I realize this is our last time. This is our last chance, Elaine. Isn't that stressful?
It's okay.
That's the only thing that stressed me out.
We're just going to make 30 predictions each. We all know that's how that's going to end.
Yeah. This episode's probably going to be long. Stick with us. We earned this, okay?
Yes.
We earned this. Oh my god, there's a giraffe coming by the treehouse. What is he holding in his mouth? Wonka Watch news. He gave me a little flash drive. There's lots of stuff on here this week because, yes, even in our episode of Reflection, the news does not stop and we don't get a break. It's quite a significant Wonka news segment, but the first thing is, oh my god, the giraffe, he raised his little hoof up and he's sending me a package and it says special delivery from RhinoStew on it. So we got an email from Luke, and if you all don't remember, last time Luke sent us an email, it was a 10-minute travelogue taking a little popsicle stick cutouts of us getting Flat Stanley to the Roald Dahl Museum. That episode was that's on the Wonka ASMR episode. Highly recommend you check that out if you haven't listened to it, because it is one of the best things that we've gotten to feature on this podcast. But we got another email from him shortly a few days prior, and I told Elaine, don't fucking look at it. I need someone's reaction to be saved for the podcast. And here's an audio recording of what he sent.
Oh, God. Hey, how's it going? I'm Paris Themin, and many years ago I played Mike TV in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the one with Gene Wilder. So I have this request here, and it's from RhinoStew. Being an animal lover, I can't really endorse that, but it is to Felicia and Elaine and their podcast, Wonka Watch. So, hey, everybody at Wonka Watch and Felicia and Elaine. What's going on? I guess you guys are counting down to the Timothée Chalamet release date of December 15th. You guys call it the Wonka Rapture. Now, is that maybe because of the shots of the people fizzy lifting up to the skies where they're all sort of spinning up and looking? That's a good guess. That's probably what the Wonka Rapture is about. But I do wish you a happy Wonka Rapture. And apparently I'm supposed to say hello to Fickelgruber, which is their frog. That's right, they have a frog named Fickelgruber. And their best friend, Tuffy. So I do say hi to Fickelgruber and Tuffy. Wish you all a happy Wonka Rapture. You have caught me about half a day out from Rio de Janeiro. I'm on a cruise boat. If I turn around this way, you'll see that I'm not lying. There you go. There's the ocean going by. And yeah, here I am saying hello from a cruise boat. All right, that's all. I hope it's good. I hope the movie's good. I don't know if it's going to be good. You know, Timothée Chalamet is good. People tell me that Paddington was good, and that's the director, Paul King. So fingers crossed, and I'll see you at the Rapture. Bye now.
Thank you so much, Luke.
Luke. You mad Luke.
Fucking incredible, Luke. Thank you so much. So if anybody wants a cameo from Paris Themin, $35. Not bad. Very reasonable.
We crossed a barrier.
I felt scary. And also, I like that we got... I mean, news articles will be written about 1971 cast gives opinion on new Wonka movie, and his opinion is, I don't know if it's going to be good.
I don't know. Also, the idea of the Wonka Rapture being because of the hover chalk is absolutely fucking amazing.
That would have been way smarter. The Wonka Rapture came from pure word association. It was not... That was called... Yeah. We could not get WonkaWatch at gmail.com.
Yeah, and we were like, what else
if it
is
was
fucking
Wonka
ridiculous?
Rapture? And we said immediately print. That's obviously available. That's our email. Thank you.
God, I wonder who at WonkaWatch at gmail.com is probably getting a shit ton of random emails, I would assume. There's
that's
no
where
way.
Our fucking premiere invite is, I'm going to shit my pants. Can you imagine?
Some bro named Steve is just rolling up with our ticket.
You fucking kidding me?
Fucking Steve.
We learned there was a Timothée Chalamet interview request sitting in there.
Oh my God. I can't believe...
I was going to say Norts for you on Graham Norton, but they didn't let me.
I
was censored by the media.
I'm blown away right now. Because what if mean, he knows that. What if he listens?
I know.
What if he listens to the fan fiction?
We did cover him on Cake Wars. So, we
Luke, what have you done?
Thank you so much, Luke.
Thank you so much, Luke.
This was incredible.
I so unexpected. I'm like...
I laughed in shock when I opened this for the first time. And my reaction isn't as intense because I've gone through the emotions now because I had to prepare it for Elaine. But Elaine is crying a little bit. So...
I'm so like, what the fuck is this podcast?
I know.
What the fuck is this podcast? What has happened to my life?
It's
surreal. He said hi to Fickle Crapper. What do you do with your life? What do you do? What do you do now? I don't know. Okay, I'm good.
So yeah, that's the first piece of Wonka Watch news. That's more of a special delivery. Genuinely fucking shocking. Thank you so much, Luke.
Virtual hugs to you, Luke. Oh
and thank you to Paris Themmen for recording.
Thank you so much, Paris Themmen. Honestly, like, amazing. It warms my heart. One more soul saved for the Ronco Rapture, am I right? Now we know we've saved one of the 1971 cast members. We'll see if the others are lucky enough. We'll see.
Peter Ostrom, stop being a veterinarian and record a cameo. So, actual Wonka Watch news. We're first going to talk about a Variety article it's a Variety article reporting on a panel after a Variety artisan screening series of Wonka. It basically just had lots of people working behind the scenes, costume, hair design, etc. And I just pulled out what I wanted to discuss. So these first quotes are from Graham Page, who was the special effects supervisor. He said this about Hugh Grant. We basically photographed him in massive amounts of detail to be able to recreate him digitally. And there's lots of technical things we had to do, but we de-aged him. We wanted him to be the same age that he is in Bridget Jones's Diary too. Which is very specific.
Whoa.
Right. But also, that explains why his face does not look like Hugh Grant sometimes. Why did they de-age him? I don't think he needed to be de-aged.
I don't think so either. Like, I'm not going to go like, oh my God, that's a really old Oompa Loompa. I am no longer attracted and no longer want to watch this film. Hollywood needs to just let people be old and decaying. Let us fucking rot. Like, let it happen.
We want an old curmudgeon for the Oompa Loompa, but not too old of a curmudgeon.
No, he still needs to have a weird sex appeal, you know?
Set decorator Lee Sandalis says, everything is taken from the script and the idea of the chocolate shop itself. It's conceived as a memory of his childhood and the love of his mother. You enter the shop and you see him on a river, on a barge. That's the barge from his childhood. Everything is represented from what he remembered from his mother, and it just comes from love. So we took that and amplified it and amplified it and amplified it. I didn't realize how intense this quote was until I was reading it out loud. Wow. That was just a fun little insight I found.
Wow.
And now we have some interview clips. And I always like playing these audio clips on the podcast because I feel like we're a real podcast when we do that. Not that I don't think we're a real podcast otherwise, but I feel like, we're doing like some real reporting.
It's like when we put on a blazer, you know?
Yeah. So this is a clip from Wonka stars Timothy Chalamet and Hugh Grant, AP extended interview, Associated Press. This one, Timothy Chalamet is talking about his acting in Wonka, which I think is a good bit of background. I kind of jumped it in a weird spot, but the rest of it didn't really need to say anything. So,
and just very joyful and generous, and it's not necessarily what is in vogue as far as like behavioral acting and very natural storytelling, but it's, when done right, it's very joyful to do, and as an audience member, it's very generous to receive, I think.
What does that mean?
I feel like he just said the same 3 words over and over again. I don't know.
Is generous like a corporate buzzword, but for actors?
Maybe. It sounded like when you're at like the table and you're like, oh, can you pass the biscuits? And they're like, oh, here. Oh, you want the biscuits. And then the biscuits just keep going in a circle, but no one's grabbing the biscuits. But no one knows who wants the biscuits. That's just what that felt like.
What he's saying, though, is he's aware it's insane, is what that was. He's saying, look, the type of acting I'm doing, it's fucking weird. And nobody likes it anymore. But I had fun. And hopefully the audience will appreciate it. That's my subtitles on that clip.
Yes, thank you for the translation. As the Timothy Chalamet.
As the one who went to art school, I remember. Yeah. I can interpret that weird bullshit.
Your film theory.
I like how at the end you can tell he doesn't know what he's saying anymore.
And as an audience member, is very generous to receive, I think.
Yeah. I feel like that was clearly like his 30th interview of the day at that point. He was
and
like,
this was also like end of a 30-second ramble. where he had said generous previously as well.
That's rough.
But yeah. And now we have a little bit of Hugh Grant talking about just on set, being on set.
I like, personally, to bring misery onto all film sets if I possibly can. I'm miserable myself. I like to spread negativity. On this one, I didn't entirely succeed because he's irrepressible, Paul King. He basically is Paddington in a human costume. And he brings all that niceness and he actually likes people. What a perv.
And I just wanted to say, I'm glad to know that when Paul King directed all the blackface on Come Fly With Me, he did it with a Paddington-like demeanor. Don't think I've forgotten, Paul King. Don't think I fucking forgot.
What a wild everything that just happened in that little clip. Hugh Grant is a little menace. Check. I could see that. I wanted examples.
Yeah. For context, the Come Fly With Me thing, we talk about that on the Bunny and the Bull episode. So if you haven't heard about it, go check that out because it's not great.
Give it a
listen. It's good context. Good to know going in. I'm going to say a quick shout out to my best friend of 10 years, Jill, for compiling the rest of the Wonka Watch news because I was trying to go through it because the embargo's been lifted, so reviews are out. But Elaine and I are trying to keep our views pure. We don't want to get clouded. We want to experience in like tunnel vision only. We don't want to be corrupted by outside sources. You know, we want to get our original opinion. We don't want to be influenced. So Jill compiled the things that weren't reviews for me to go through, and I've pulled a few highlights. Number one, I'm going to link in the description a video of Timothée Chalamet explaining the design of the Nike Dunk Wonka sneakers. If we remember from a few episodes ago, they look bad, I just want to say. But there's a wild video of him on a marble staircase explaining the design choices in the worst sound possible. It is the most echoey place I've ever heard. I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the full thing, but I was like, it deserves a link in the description. I don't care. Okay, this is my fun piece of Wonka Watch news. Forget the chocolate factory. There are now 2 delicious Wonka sweets in New York and LA.
Oh.
This is an article from the Rob Report. So, with a collaboration with Booking.com, because we all needed that, Booking.com and Warner Bros. Pictures have teamed up to create 2 candy-themed sweets in celebration of the holiday season and Wonka, which hits theaters on December 15th. Elaine's pointing at something.
I'm pointing at the giraffe in the room.
Hook up on the Wonka suite.
This is what our studio apartment looked like. There's so many giraffes. Wait, there's more giraffes. How many more giraffes are there? Why are they so prominent?
Dubbed Wonka Sweets, the whimsical stays at Park Lane, New York, and the Big Apple in California's Viceroy Santa Monica Hotel includes rainbow lollipops, florals, and pink cloud displays worthy of the chocolatier's famous factory. And you won't need a golden ticket. 2 pairs of guests will be able to book the experiences on December 13th on a first-come, first-served basis. The Wonka Suite experience also provides you with airport transfers, itineraries, and overnight stays that will take place from December 15th to 16th. Better still is that both bookings are priced at just $12.15. A nod to the film's release date. You also get plenty of perks, including tickets to see the new movie in theaters, vintage destination posters, candy-inspired beverages, and stamp wallpaper inspired by the Chocolatier's travels.
Whoa.
They have like a scrub it and bleach it themed bathroom.
Oh.
I mean, they just put a sign up.
What do you think those, they have fake bubbles all over it, like really big. What do you think those are made of?
A host of white balloons. It says right below the picture.
Oh. That would be so fucking annoying. I'd be like, why
the
are there so many
lounge area
balloons
feels
on
deeply
here?
unsettling to me. I just want to say, in the New York one, there's just the tree from the movie, the cherry tree from the movie, and then like 2 fucking chairs. What a nice lounge.
I don't know. It's like, what is it trying to be? I don't understand.
The view from the room that's like the top hat display where there's a bunch of top hats hanging from the ceiling and 1 bowler hat.
I hate the
Why
top
a bowler
hat.
hat?
Why? Fickle grouper.
And then you go through, you look into this room that looks like an abandoned storage room. This room looks haunted to me. And there's just a suitcase full of fucking marshmallows.
It just looks like honestly, like it would be fun to walk through this, but to spend more time here, I feel like I would get stressed. The chocolate bar in under the sweets display room, the chocolate bar is too smooth, and I don't like it.
Okay, hold on.
Unnecessarily huge.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wallpaper because they said it's related to his to the things that he captured.
Do we need to zoom in?
No. I'm
put it all
looking at
together
it. There's
and then we'll know
Africa
exactly?
with the giraffe on it. Okay. There's cherries from Japan. There's something with the North Pole. Marshmallows in Peru. What is that one? There's a thing. There's India is something on there. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like it might be Russia. And then there's cocoa, just cacao. That's just interesting. So I guess if any of the Wonka scholars want to really try for that, go for it. And then I just have one last thing, which is just a thing that happened in an interview. It's very short. I just wanted to address it.
Now, are you a fan of the artist formerly known as Timmy Tim? Are you aware of Timmy Tim? Look at your eyes. You just want You don't know about Timmy Tim?
No, ma'am.
That's all. The rest of the interview, they don't show it to him. Timmy just gets really embarrassed and is like, I don't know if he'd want to be near me anymore. And he was like, no. I'd never. And he was like, I want to see it desperately. The only other part of that video that was notable is the interviewer asked how they bonded on set, and Timmy was like, oh yeah, I don't know, like how would you put it? And he goes, bitch gossip. I'm pretty sure it was bitch gossip because the first part got bleeped out, but he just went bitch gossip. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I want to bring misery and bitch gossip to the set.
I think the whole thing where I said he got mad because nobody would let him read all the Bridgerton novels, that he burned the entire Wonka film, was actually very accurate.
Honestly, yeah.
I had my finger on the pulse.
Well, I guess he didn't really get to interact with too many people because so many people didn't know he was in it. So he had a little bubble
they were
boy.
talking about the special effects person was saying sometimes he got on set and just sat there on his knees, or other times he was in a tent next to the set so they could hear each other. Just sounds very upsetting.
The tent nearby is so sad.
I know.
What kind of bitch gossip did they talk about? So Timmy, I think you should buy that little hat to make you look like a happy little fairy prancing around your lily pad.
And then he made fun of him for it behind his back for a week and a half. Yeah. Hugh Grant gaslighting.
As they always say, if there's a good bitch gossip, make your own bitch gossip.
So now it's time for us to take a moment back. 107 episodes, over 5,000 minutes of content.
Oh.
I know, I just added up. And that's actually less than it is. Just about 3.5 days of Wonka Watch. Full 24 hours. Just so we're all on the same page.
Good Lord.
Alongside keeping track of all our predictions, I've also kept track of all the episodes we've done and the types and amount of media we've reviewed, which would come in handy for specifically today. We have discussed 14 books, 11 movies, 45 videos.
No.
4 theatrical productions, 3 TV episodes, 4 attractions, 1 album, 6 games, and 7 miscellaneous, for a total of 95 pieces of media discussed. There's a chance some of those numbers are off, because I don't know if we've done 4. I thought we did 3 theatrical productions, but... Oh, I put SNL in theatrical productions when it was supposed to be TV episodes. Nice. Same number. And we have experienced the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory plot 12 times. If you count commentary track rewatches, then it's 15. So just everybody know
that's a lot.
Why we're sick of it. That's why.
That's a lot.
That also doesn't count any Wonka Watch news stuff. That's only the main topics of the episode. I want to be extremely clear. So it's probably a lot more than that.
Wow.
But that's kind of where we stand as of right now. I might need to pee before we get into the rest of the episode because I can feel it sapping my life force away. So I'll be back.
I like it. Which means it's time for a tinkle song. Everybody is ready. It might be one of the last Pre-Wonka tinkle songs. And you know you want to sing along 'cause you're sad. Or maybe you're not. Am I projecting? I might be projecting. Should we listen to some Christmas jazz music? No, that will be copyrighted. Should we listen to a cozy fireplace? Can we do a song to crackle and fire? I'm in the tree house, the Wonka tree house, and they're burning a fire way too close. But the giraffe was cold, and we both know you can't get good milk from a cold giraffe. You won't be able to fill the carafe. And then everyone will cause a lot of riff-raff because they won't have the smoothest silk giraffe milk. We don't need to milk everything, but sometimes I guess it's fun. Milk is kind of weird. It's white and thick and yum, yum. And then, do you ever think about how you get a bunch of different ingredients and then somehow you make a cake? It fucking bothers me. It fucking bothers me a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Are the pee-pee songs back?
Oh, nothing happened at all while you were gone.
I was just thinking we haven't had a pee-pee song in a while.
Yeah, we totally have, and I guess we still haven't. Real bummer. Real bummer, Felicia.
What a shame. That would have been so fun on this episode.
Oh, wouldn't it have?
Okay, so where do we want to start? Because there's like so much to talk about. I feel like, should we talk about like our favorite episodes? Which seems very self-indulgent. But you know what? This is like the recap clip show.
It really
is.
is.
I think it's worth it.
And this is going to be so ridiculous. I have to pull it up. We've done so many. This won't give
credence to the parts of this podcast that aren't about the Wonka lore if we don't otherwise. You know, this podcast is more than just reviewing Wonka media.
So true.
There's something special. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like, it's so beautiful because not only has it been documenting Wonka Watch, but it's like been documenting our friendship and like how this horrible thing has like woven us together as friends. Like, you're the golden ticket and the chocolate bar.
That's so powerful.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna write an inspirational book about it.
God, we have so many fucking episodes. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Jesus Christ. It's like, obviously I have some that come to my head, but like, you know, there's so much, you just forget some of the gems.
Exactly. You know, how do we even...
Okay. Do we just want to go like back and forth, I guess, on like ones that stand out and just kind of...
Let's go for it. I think reviewing the Chalamet musical canon was one of our first real unhinged ones, because I remember we had to re-record the entire episode in full. I think that was where the Wonka Well lore got established, was at the end of that episode.
Yes.
And it was really our first dive into what this podcast would become, I think, over time.
Honestly.
Our first brush.
I think we'll both agree. Wonka fan fiction.
Yeah.
Like...
Sorry. We haven't gotten them in a while.
We haven't. Oh my god, we love that sound.
No means no.
Timmy, did you...
Checks mix.
How are your bowels?
Man, I gotta poop.
Oh. Well, that's good. Things are moving.
I want to put it on record right now. Me and Elaine's favorite episode of Wonka Watch is we created a Wonka reality TV show. It has been ever since we made it. It was episode 24. We peaked at 24, Elaine.
Let's talk about why it's our favorite episode, Felicia. That's a fun thing that people don't know about. They don't know why it's our favorite. It is our favorite. At least, okay. Obviously, a lot of reasons. One of the reasons why I think it's one of my favorites is
this is your call to listen to We Created a Wonka reality TV show.
Go listen to it, because a lot of weird canon things that the lore still continue through into this podcast. I liked it because like it made no sense as a premise. And that was us going through like our giant topic dump we had compiled when we were first starting this podcast and throwing like anything at the wall. And the reality TV show just is so ridiculous. And I think it was one of the also first thing that was so off canon and not really within a structure of like the Hunger Games simulation or
the fan fiction. It was
or
just
the fan
like,
fiction, which is still in the world. The Wonka reality.
Now, granted, we did do the Timothy Chalamet character episode 2 episodes before, so
that's fair.
What a month! What a month!
What a wild month of content. But I like it because it's so chaotic. But honestly, I think we created a great reality TV show.
No, I genuinely think our show was great. I think it was good. And we had so much fun making it. And we had a great time. So if anyone's wondering what Wonka Watch might turn into post Wonka Watch, what we move on to next, something like the reality TV show might be what you're in for. So just get that in mind. Yeah. Know that might be the direction we're heading.
Posies in there.
We just need to give it a shout out because you never get an opportunity to talk about the favorite episode of the podcast you made. And I think it's just very funny that it's the same for both of us. Like,
I know.
It's agreed. It's, in our opinion, the single best episode of Wonka Watch, which no one else agrees with us on. understandably.
I like that
Maybe
we say that.
someone
No
does.
one's really ever fully said
Their favorite episode, but we just know.
So we know. We know that that's not really probably the one you always return to, but
It's the one we always return to. Well, I think it's time we discussed what everyone's really here for. Our official opinions and rankings. I think the first question we should start out with. Who is our favorite Wonka? Because I think people know. And now, I want to be very clear. This is a different question from who is the best Wonka.
yes.
Who is our favorite and who are the best? Those can be two different things, okay? Well, I think we know who my favorite is because it hasn't changed in like 60
I have
fucking
no
episodes.
idea.
I am still a Christian Wonka girl. Look, here's why. Here's why I like Christian Wonka. I have no love for the original source material, and I appreciate that his is just wild, and I think it hit at the right time. I was just starting to get fatigued with the plot, and he does spice it up. He does make it interesting.
He does. He gives
He
it an
obviously
energy
does
drink.
not take it seriously. Which I think I get very appreciative by. And, you know, you don't have a Wonka where he's just a bitch. But this one, he's just a bitch. And I like that. I think that's fun. And that's
He does
closer
bitch
to my
gossip.
perception of Wonka. Yeah, he's the bitch gossip Wonka. And I like that.
I love that. That's beautiful. It's funny because mine came to me later in this podcast because I didn't know he existed.
And no one knew he existed.
And no one else really knew he existed. But Scott Frank is my Wonka. I love Scott Wonka. Scott Frank Wonka. I don't know what his full name is. Like Scott Frank Wonka. SF
Scott
Wonka.
Frank Wonka. I like that yours is the least accessible and most deep cut Wonka.
I
'Cause
know.
It's so not you. You
I know.
Like, that's so
Like-
not normally how you end up on these things.
No. Well, and I guess it's hard because, like, obviously, like, choosing a favorite Wonka, it's going to be Scott Frank, but choosing my favorite Wonka character universe, obviously, is Fickle Grubber. Like, you
Well,
know.
you're right, yeah.
But, yeah.
That's a
Scott
question I haven't even thought about. Man.
Wow.
Who is my
yeah. Who's your
Computer
favorite
Guy's
character?
pretty up top. I'm going to be honest. Computer Guy's like top 5 for me.
Yeah.
I guess it's Computer Guy. I can't think of anyone else. I mean, of the kids, it's Violet. We know this. 1971 Violet specifically. No, I guess it's Computer Guy. Huh. Who knew?
No.
Who
Yeah.
knew? There's something
you know,
about him.
There's
something
little,
about
like,
him that appeals to
hints.
me. I think after doing this for 2 years, I understand his...
Yeah. Well, he did pretty well in the Hunger Games, if I recall. That or he didn't
It's
do
true,
well at
it's
all.
true.
But he had some wild moments there, and I think that's honestly when things turn for me. Obviously, things that actually happen to the real character and actual canon things.
I do want to give another shout out real quick to versions of Timothée Chalamet winning Drag Race every time. I just wanted to give a shout out to that. That Philippe Desjardins did win Drag Race, everybody. I think we all forgot. But he did
about
win
that.
Drag Race.
That's absolutely wild. And he and Lori lived happily ever after.
I mean, if he was a Canon Wonka character, Philippe Desjardins would be my number one. But alas.
Oh, obviously, I have to throw out Augustus Gloop. We all know I
Yes,
love
you're an
Augustus
Augustus.
in his own way.
I guess Mr. Wilkinson's a top 3 for me, too. I feel like I have an attachment to Mr. Wilkinson.
And we really, you know, that love story. How can you deny the love story
Such
between
a
Wonka and
beautiful
Wilkinson?
love story. What's the best love story on the podcast?
Oh
Who's got
my
the best
gosh.
romance?
Well, obviously, Detective Private Investigator Milana's Whole House.
and Christian. I feel like
and
they've got
Christian.
the most developed.
That's solid.
They get disgusting in that.
They get disgusting.
You can tell that I like Christian the most that I gave him a happy ending.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's allowed to be happy. The next question is what is our favorite, like, overall version of Wonka? Of, like, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory plot line. And the problem is I don't really like any of them when I think about it too hard. Even Scott Frank I don't like, if I think about it too hard. I weirdly, if we talk about plot pacing, Opera's my favorite, and I hate that Opera's my favorite in plot structure.
Whoa.
Remember, they start in media, and they start, like, halfway through the Golden Ticket search, so, okay, I think the
That's
reason I like
true.
the Opera is they cut out a bunch of shit that I normally have to watch in all the others, and I
That's
was
true.
like, I've been
And
sped up. I'm
They
free.
brought in gargoyles, which,
They did.
you know, and they
If it
suggest that
wasn't
the
an
factory
opera,
is alive
I
and
would've
can't be
loved it.
controlled. Yeah. And we got Mummy Yummy Gussie from it, so.
Oh my
That's
god,
fair.
that is where Mummy Yummy Gussie came from. that
Mummy
got, like,
Yummy
divorced of its
Gussie.
origin.
I forgot that I could count the Scott Frank script. I don't know if I mean, it is a media. I don't know if I can fully count it just because I don't know. I
No,
guess
you
that's
can
one of my
count
favorite. Okay. I think will double down on that just because it was a different take, and I liked the way that they had like his dad used to work at the factory, and Charlie's mom was like there's like more intricacies, and like the fact that
it is the
boobs
one
are
that got
wearing,
us most
like,
excited.
Yeah, and the idea that Nick Cage could have possibly been.
That was still. It is fucked up that our favorite version of Wonka is the only one that was never made.
I know. No, I guess I'll double down on the Scott Frank, because I guess technically, it's not the most removed from the canon, but it's like the most different
I kind of agree.
Wonka.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel like I should say 1971, but I gotta be honest with myself, it's not. I think that movie's kind of boring. With all love and respect to the people who love it, I don't get much out of it. Still,
that's
to
fair.
this
I think
day.
it's a big nostalgia trip. It's a big nostalgia trip, and it's really fun as a kid. Like, I feel like if you watched it as a kid, especially, like,
I don't think it's a bad
stays with you
movie.
longer.
It just doesn't do much for me. I remember when we first watched it, I said it feels like a cardboard cutout of a movie sometimes, and I still kind of agree with that. Honestly, I think that was a pretty good assessment. Yeah, not the original novel. I feel no love for the original novel. I want to be very
Absolutely
clear.
not.
And the problem is we think the structure is inherently bad. We think it is
so
a
therefore,
bad plot.
Yeah. Which is
It's
hilarious.
very much like a fairy tale where like nobody has character development and the motivations are all very thin, but it's too long and every adaptation makes it too long. So like,
yeah.
And that's an important thing to color going into this. We're going to be predisposed to enjoying Wonka just because it's something different. Okay?
Yes. Yeah. That is our bias coming into this. Obviously, we also have a huge bias of, I don't know, having done this podcast for 2.5 years or whatever. And like,
and
everybody.
we have no love for the original source material. I mean, we have love for it in the sense of like
reverence.
We don't. We have no reverence.
Yeah.
That's the perfect term. I don't really love it either. I acknowledge it.
It was, you know what? 1971 is kind of like cozy old faithful. I don't need to go back and watch it, honestly, because of this podcast. I'm not going to lie.
No,
like, I probably would be more
not.
willing to casually put it on or be like, oh, yeah, that could be a fun thing to have in the back. So it's kind of hard to compare who I was before this podcast and how I related and interacted with it to, like, now where, like, not that, like, it's been ruined, but it's just
I don't think the movie's shit. It's just, I think when you're doing what we do, it will become shit over time.
Right? Exactly. And that's the distinction I want to make, where it's like before this podcast and like us like learning and diving into all this stuff and having to like basically, you know, become the Wonka scholars. I feel like, you know, 1971 was my fave, and but I didn't, you know.
You told those
I wasn't like,
hey,
I'm a big
you're
Wonka
not going to
fan.
like this movie anymore, but what you are going to like is a 160-page script from 2001 that never got produced.
And you know, who would have thought? Who would have thought I ended up here? Not me. Never.
It is wild. Reminder, Elaine didn't know who Roald Dahl was when we started this podcast, so look how far she's come. She went from not knowing who Roald Dahl was to having the Scott Frank spec script as her favorite.
Wow.
That's wild.
Me going, is that the production company? That's one of those things where you have a random gap in your knowledge and like it just never got filled. Like I never had to read Roald Dahl as a kid.
Yep.
I did not like the.
It's like I know nothing about World War One. I don't know what it was. I don't know what caused it. I jumped around to a lot of different schools. I just missed that year. One day I'll figure it out.
Look at me now. Do I get pissed every time there's a trivia question or someone like brings up Wonka? They do it now actively in my life. They're like, "Oh, Wonka." I'm like, "This is my personal life.
I
That's
get
my work
mad.
life.
Yeah,
Get out of here."
Yeah, no, literally, I'm like separation of work and space. I've had to ask people to stop sending me Wonka things. My friends, I'm like, stop. I know you're doing this with love and like respect for me and what I do, and this is you're saying, oh my god, I'm engaging with the thing she engaged with. No. That's my work.
Yeah,
that's
keep it
my
separate.
duty.
Now, if you
Keep it separate.
personally see something in the wild, like you're holding the Wonka cereal, that's a little more forgivable because you are in the wild and showing me a unique thing, not just an article of maybe it exists. But beyond that...
And this is, I want to be very clear, this is not addressing the Wonka Watch Instagram. Send anything you want there. That's the place
please.
for it. When I log in there, I'm ready for
Yeah.
Wonka content. We're talking personal lives.
This is our personal
okay?
lives. Yeah. People already know what we're talking about and where we are in like everything. So it's just like no, it's like, no, friends, I need this to be my non-Wonka space.
Exactly.
Because when I hop in that, it's Wonka space. But this is me trying to be have a cool girl life, doing cool girl things, like getting locked in a library on a Friday night and having to escape. I don't know where that trauma just popped up again.
I forgot about that. I think next question is, what do we think is the worst version of Wonka?
Oh, God.
I mean, and this is not an easy. I mean, Tom and Jerry, I think, is...
Okay, so here's the weird thing. Tom and Jerry is the worst, and yet somehow it is endeared to me just because I had so much fun watching it with you and us ragging on it so much. I can almost hate watch it with joy. You know what I mean?
I mean, now I kind of love how shit it is.
Right?
It is very fun watching it with another person, but it is the most depressing experience watching it by yourself. Do not do it.
Do not watch it by yourself. Watching it together and then
and I hope that like our commentary track allows you, if you are going to put yourself through it, to get some element of human interaction while you do it, you know?
It is really raunchy, though. Really not safe for work.
I mean, you can say that about any of our commentary tracks.
Actually, that's really
nuts
true.
On there.
I don't know what happens to us, but we just like break.
Also, I mean, the opera is probably the most painful to listen to because you listen to it without any lyrics, and I read 600 pages of score to do it.
Which I'm already bad at picking up on lyrics.
Yeah.
And I listened to that whole thing in the Barnes & Noble.
Exactly.
I remember that. Those were the Barnes & Noble days, man. Me reading Wonka erotica in the Barnes & Noble while a priest walked by and offered me if I wanted anything for free from the cafe.
Oh, fucking Pop Tropica. Pop Tropica's shit as fuck. Pop Tropica's the fucking worst. Pop Tropica's the worst. I take anything back. Tom and Jerry is a gift compared to Pop Tropica. Holy fucking shit. I hate Pop Tropica so much.
That's one of those, when I think of like things that were the most painful in the moment but get to be the most hilarious looking back on, it is also Pop Tropica. But
Pop Tropica is it was not fun to do together.
It was not fun. It was so painful. But you go back and watch the video, and it's just
the video's fun because you don't have to experience it. But
you don't.
Our pain. In the moment was the worst, and that's the one I would least like
horrible.
to return to.
Yeah, horrible. I'd rather do the PlayStation 2 game, which was essentially the same thing.
I want to give a shout out to the Wonkanizer. I love the Wonkanizer. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Wonkanizer. It was so stupid. Why did he meet Teddy Roosevelt? That was fun. I just wanted to. I think that was nice. Yeah. That was a nice break for us.
It was nice. Yeah.
What are our other dishonorable mentions? I mean, West End Wonka. Even though some parts of the musical were better, we probably should have watched it in reverse order. I feel like we were kind of harsh on Doug.
Yeah, I mean, we came back around. We said our love for Doug with his facial hair and the fact that in the West End version they do list the Wonka bar as a character, if we recall.
That's true. I forgot about that. That is
like, what the heck? So, yeah, I think Doug Wonka just kind of got lost in the mix of we were having to cover all of the like musical productions back to back to back, and again, it's just the same thing.
How about we go through this? I have the list of all the Wonkas. How about we do a 0 to 10 rating of each of them? I feel like that would be a good way for us to succinctly say how we feel. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Well,
what,
I think
what
we
are
should...
we, like, hotness? Because we already done that.
No.
Power?
You know what? First,
overall...
before we do that, I think that'll be good, but I think we should say who the best Wonka is, because I think that's what people want to know. Who is the best Wonka? It's Gene, right? Like, I mean, it is Gene.
It's Gene.
Gene is the best Wonka. And here's the interesting thing I noticed. When I watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I feel meh on Gene Wonka. But when I watch the anything else that Gene Wilder's in, I am a Gene Wonka stan.
Yes.
So I think I really like Gene Wilder. I just fucking hate this source material. So,
yeah. Like, he does a very good Wonka, you know?
No,
like,
it's a very good Wonka, but it's not... I think I'm just blinded by the source material that it's in. I do really like him, but like... I had a new appreciation. I enjoy Gene Wonka more when I'm watching Young Frankenstein than when I'm watching Gene Wonka. In a retrospective, like, oh man, wasn't Gene Wonka fun? But then when I have to watch it, all the rest of it tears me down.
Have you seen him in Blazing Saddles? Because that's wild.
I have.
It's wild to see him. It's like when you see Julie Andrews not doing Sound of Music or Mary Poppins, and you're like, whoa.
I mean, yeah, I watched The Producers like...
What do you mean you're an adult? What's going on?
Last week, and that was wild.
Yeah.
But also, we want to be clear. We don't think Gene Wonka's untouchable. Not that we think Timmy Wonka's going to be better than him, but we don't think he should be cast out of society for even trying. Because many people have tried before Timmy. He's not the third. Everybody's like, oh, he's the third. No, he's like the 18th. No.
Yeah.
Put some respect on Service Dom Wonka's name, all right?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
He's not new, and there's no sanctity to the source material, so I don't give a shit. That's the thing, is everybody's like, oh, another sequel, they're ruining the franchise. The franchise was already ruined, you just weren't paying attention, okay?
And honestly,
it's already in the shitter. when Tom and Jerry Wonka happened, it was done, okay? It's already shit.
This is like a new plot, at least. This is similar
new.
characters, like ones that have been referenced in the main source material.
Maybe
but
that's
it's
why we're
new
not that
plot.
hard about this being a prequel, because we experienced Tom and Jerry Wonka, which is exactly the kind of sequel remake cynicism that like
Yes.
people talk about, that we're like, this is a gift. This is a gift. It's an original plot. I don't give a shit. You know? I just think we should go through the list of Wonkas and rank them. Maybe 1 through 5, 1 through 10. What do you think?
1 through 10, maybe. And is
through
it just
10.
like overall Wonkaness or like favorite enjoyment?
Enjoyment, goodness. You know what I mean?
Enjoyment and goodness. I like that.
Number 1, Gene Wonka. I'm going to give him a 9. I don't think I can give anyone a 10.
I was going to give him an 8. A nice.
And remember, that's the one we think is the best.
That's the one we think is the best. Well, okay. And this is interesting because I think my scores are not going to directly reflect that.
No, that's
But
true.
this is where things
I
diverge.
agree.
You know what I mean?
If I'm not couching it by thinking I should put Gene high, my real answer is around an 8 or a 7.5.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay.
We're
Johnny
all
Wonka
friends here.
is a 3 for me.
I was going to say a 3 as well.
This will be interesting. Mark Wonka,
Ooh.
8.
5. Only because
I'm just thinking about Scrunch and Oompas.
I was really scared of the puppets. Whatever
That's
was happening
true.
with the castle thing really did disturb me, but I do love Mark Wonka. I'm just thinking of the other scores I'm about to be giving out. Like if I gave Gene an 8, you know what I mean? Like this is where...
Yeah. I did score Mark at the same as Gene. But I did get more pure enjoyment out of watching that Scrunch and Oompas
You know
trailer
what?
more than anything
I'm going
else
to
in the
bump it up
podcast.
to a 6 because it taught me the ruler magic trick that I think
You know
got
what?
to do
I'm going to
with...
go down to a 7 because now that I'm thinking about it, that feels more reasonable.
Okay,
So a 7.
Good for
Gene's
us.
an 8. Mark's a 7. Rolled Wonka.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
This is hard.
It's
Because
either going to be
Rolled
really
Wonka-
low or, like, decently high. Because he's, like, a little gremlin. He's
Yeah.
wirely. And I feel like Wilfred Wonka, our Wonka, has a lot of homage to him, mostly. Like, I imagine,
No, exactly.
the pictures and stuff of him is kind of how, like,
We pictured
flavor
Wilfred
there.
Wonka. Yeah.
I feel like with Love, too,
That's why,
You
because
know?
I was going to give him like an 8, mostly because he's my Wilfred Wonka inspo, and I don't think I would have gotten my child Wilfred Wonka without him. So
I'm going to, yeah. It's like a, yeah.
I don't.
I'll
Yeah,
stick with my 2, but it has the same reasoning for your 8, if that makes sense.
yeah, because you hate Wilfred Wonka famously. No,
Oh, no. No, it's like we talk about the thing where it's like, oh, when something's like bad, but you start liking it, but you can't tell the
Yeah.
difference between like, yeah. I feel like that's where I am with.
I mean,
Rolled.
I got to give him props for the Minus Land shit. It's insane, but I do think it's
that's
fucking
true.
crazy.
Okay, 4. I'll do a 4.
All right.
because I had a lot of fun with Minus Land in Hell.
Alton Towers Wonka, solid 3 for me.
2.
That checks
Those
out.
fucking coattails.
1 for each.
Those
coattail.
fucking erect coattails.
TJ Wonka. Now this is hard.
This is
'Cause we-
this is gonna be a little wild.
Let's think about this. TJ Wonka, we hated him. We thought he was the worst Wonka, period, when we first saw him. Then
Yeah.
I wrote him into a fan fiction and got kind of endeared to him, where he became an item with Rolled Wonka, and that was the start of the Multiversal Wonka Squad. Fan fiction 2, I think. And then he won Hunger Games, and I think because of that, we kind of got endeared to him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't hate him like I used to.
We made him better though. I think that's the problem. It's like
Yeah.
him alone.
But
like,
are
I
we
like the
reflecting
version
on
we've
our
twisted.
experiences of this podcast and how we feel about the Wonkas, or are we reflecting on the Wonkas in themselves?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's just what wins out more, what the actual Wonka was or what it turned into. You
Do
know
I
what
like
I mean?
Alton
Like,
Towers more than I like TJ. Yes. 2.
TJ's getting a 2 or a 3.
Do you like him more or less than Alton Wonka?
I like him a little
He
more.
was on your Smash
I
list.
like him a little more. Well, the betrayal. The betrayal. Fine, he gets a 3.
All right, Christian Wonka. My answer
wonder
is
what-
7, which is not that high for my favorite. He's not a 10.
No, I mean, it checks out. I was going to say 5 or 6.
That's fair. Doug Wonka, 4.
I was going to say 4 as well. Yeah.
He's a 4 for me. Greyhound Wonka.
7.
My gut reaction was a 9, which is fucking crazy because it's the highest of anyone on this list.
I love Greyhound Wonka.
I mean, love Greyhound
let's be
Wonka
real.
too.
I love
He's a
Greyhound
top
Wonka.
3 for me. Him and his little piss kink and his spaghetti sculptures. He's fucked up, and I love him.
Yeah, actually, wait. Did I give Gene an 8?
Yeah.
I'll also give Greyhound Wonka an 8, which I know
Yeah.
is wild, but like...
I think Greyhound Wonka is also an 8 for me. Higher than Christian, weirdly. My favorite. I think because Christian, when I look at the broader picture of Christian, he gets tainted by the source material he's in. And I also admit he has flaws as a Wonka. Like, he doesn't have much range. I think he does get good on the emotional beats at the end. But, like, the story he's in... I mean, The Invisible Maze fucking sucks, even though I love it with all my heart. You know what I mean? It's a shitty
You could eat
musical.
a single block of cheese and love that cheese, but understand that in the culinary world, it is just cheese. And there are other options that could
That
happen
is exactly.
with the cheese.
Whereas
Yes.
Greyhound Wonka, our exposure to him is so short that he can't be tainted by his surroundings. And I think that's why we like him so much. I'm
And he has a
noticing
cool
the ones we
factory.
tend to score high are the ones we've had the least exposure to. Like, I was like, Alton Towers a 5. I'm like, yeah, because you watched 2 minutes of him.
So, and Greyhound Wonka gave us a lot of opportunity to fill in the gaps on his character.
Very
important
much.
things such as knowing he has a piss kink. You know,
Yeah.
things that are...
And we love him for that.
we love that for him.
Henry Wonka.
Oh,
This is hard.
6. I'm
He's
gonna
a
give that a
3 for me.
6. It's just because
I don't think you ever listened to the original.
I actually did.
You did. That's right.
I did. And I did it after the episode because then my work gave me the Calm app for free for a year, and I was like, I guess I'll
Might as
dabble
well.
in here. I just like the idea of, I guess the Calm app story itself, meh. But I guess it's also supposed to put you to sleep. But the idea of a whispering the sexy Wonka, so to speak, cracks me up.
No, he is like, yeah, it feels intimate.
Right. Actually,
And
I'll give
I
him a
was
5.
deeply
I'll put him
uncomfortable.
same place where I put Mark.
Maybe because you had the heads up that was happening and I didn't and had to get
Yes.
used to it as it went on, probably shades our view, you know?
Yes, yeah.
And I also think I'm mad at him for being one of the most powerful Wonkas. I'm still not happy about that.
That's why I also ranked him higher, because it's shocking that he is the
I think
top.
I was pissed
Like,
about it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
I was
because
upset
it's like,
because we didn't
fuck
see
you,
it coming.
Calm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Okay, Opera Wonka.
Ooh.
My gut is 2.
I shouldn't say 1.
You're allowed to say 1.
I don't know if I can justify the 1. I really like like I like what happens around him as a Wonka, but like
Yes.
in general, I just like don't care. I'll put a 1.
Same.
And that's no diss to whoever played Opera Wonka. It's just like I just so aggressively did not get anything new and did not care at all.
Yeah, and this was late in the podcast, too. This was a lot worse. Scott Wonka.
9.
I'm going to say for me, he's a 7. 7 or a 6.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. You know what? I'm going to give him a 6 because I love the surroundings of Scott Wonka, but I have not latched onto Scott Wonka in the way that you have. It's the same as you with Christian. You have not latched onto Christian in the way that I
Yeah.
have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's so fair.
It's good. We
Yeah.
have diversity of opinion.
It's
I like
good.
the Broadway guy, which seems to get people on TikTok to be real big fans of that. They like that
Oh,
I
boy.
like him.
And I like tired, given up, robe, chocolate cigar, smoking, frazzled Scott Wonka.
Exactly. The only one with emotional range.
Wow. Look at that.
You know what's fascinating? You know who we've said Timmy is the combo of? Scott and Christian. This movie was made for us. This movie was made for us.
oh my gosh. I swear
And I
to God.
stand by that because it's fucking accurate.
It's like it's so weird to say that like I'm afraid to like this movie. Like it's one thing to be like, oh, I enjoyed this as a new media experience to discuss in like a reviewing analytical way, but the idea of just like casually one day in my life being like, I want to watch a movie. Oh, you know what? I'll watch Wonka. I really like that movie.
I think
It's
we've
so
ruined that for
weird.
ourselves. I don't think that'll
I don't
ever
know if
be
it'll
our
be
reality.
possible. I will never be able to watch it.
They'll play it for
The
us in
same way.
the old people's home when we have Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and that's what's going to bring back all the core memories.
I've got 12 silver sovereigns in my pocket. She's getting out of the chair. She's dancing around the room.
Oh, is she going towards those giraffe teats? Oh, I remember now.
Here's, I think, a universal 1. Pop Tropica Wonka. 1.
1.
Fucking shit.
0.5. 0.5.
Can I give him a 0? Can I give him a 0?
You know what? We can give him a 0. The scale is now 0 through 10. He gets a fucking 0. Because, like, he literally, he was evil. He had no character development. And the way he made his factory was stupid and hard to navigate. And he also just was too lazy to do anything. And we died multiple times in our attempts to try to fix things for him.
Yeah. Service Dom Wonka.
It's like 4 or 6, you know? It's hard to
I was thinking. I was like, I think he's a 5. And maybe that's recency bias. And I think it's because we call him Service Dom Wonka is like 90% of the reason we
that
like
is
him.
the biggest.
But honestly, who gives a shit at this point?
He was really silly, though. I did enjoy... I'll give him a
was quite
5.
silly.
He gives me like a little the same flavor as like Mark Wonka. Like it has that little
Yeah.
bit of like level of whimsy. So I think it's fair. I'll put it out of 5.
I think while we're here, we should go through some of the major Wonka media we've discussed. Just rapid fire, really fast. Quick discussions like we've been doing this because I feel like this is useful and helpful and a good like end summary of how we feel. Who gives a shit this episode is long? We've been here for over 3.5 days. So, you know, what's another day?
What's another day? Who cares?
Okay, 1971 movie, scale of 1 to 10. What's your gut feeling?
5.
5. Same. Yep. 2005.
2.
4. No. 3. 3.
Yeah.
The original novel. 2.
I was about to say 0. Oh my god. I'll bump it up to 1. Wow. This is really me not having to think about it. I am shocked by what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
I am shocked by everything I've said so far.
Willy Wonka's Secrets of Magic.
5?
Is it
4?
Is it the same as the 1971 movie? This is
3? 3.
I'm feeling a 3 too.
3.
So just
3.
one rung above. Yeah. It's so
my
interesting
God.
how we rank it. Glass elevator.
You know what? I'll give it a 1 solely because I love how we experienced it together.
I'm giving it a 6. Not because I think it's a good book, but because it's such an insane book that it gave me so much joy. And I have used that as a well for content for the rest of this. I hate the weird racism in it. I think it's weird that nobody talks about that part of it.
Yeah.
However, the Minus Land shit is fucking nuts. And I'm so glad Minus Land is part of the Wonkaverse because that let us really go off the rails, I think.
It really did.
When we learned, I think when we learned this, all sanctity for the original source material went out the window. Because we were like, oh, it's shit. Anyway, the original source material sucks.
Our permission, like our different canon we created at that point was better. Let's be honest. Yeah. It was more put together than Great Glass Elevator, but Great Glass Elevator also gave us the permission of like, oh, this fucking was wild and like made no sense. Why did he go to space with Charlie and Chocolate Factory? If he went to space, we can do whatever the fuck we want on this podcast.
Yeah, literally what? 8, that was 18, and then which Timothy Chalamet character when the factory was episode 22. So it had a direct impact on our podcast. Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka.
2. No,
2.
1.
No,
I don't want to watch it ever again unless I'm watching it with you.
I skipped 1. Hold on, I scrolled past 1. Alton Towers ride. That's a 0 for me.
Well, to like do the ride or experience just the pre-show. Pre-show,
what do we think?
Absolutely no shit. 0.
It's a 0. Yeah. For me as well. I just don't care about it at all.
Yeah.
Only the coattails have stuck with me. And that was enough for me to rate him a 5 in the original Wonka rankings. Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka. I think by yourself, a 0.
Yes.
With friends, a 4.
I'll say with friends, a 2.
Yeah, fair. My 4 feels strong, but you know what? I've got to stick with it. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the musical. 3.
See, I also want to say 1 because I would never
notice how none have been higher than 5.
Yeah, this is very
actually I want to bump Glass Elevator back down to 5 because having any be higher than 5 feels crazy.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, it's down to 5.
It's hard because like I don't ever have a desire to ever go see it. Like even if I had a friend in it, I would be really torn on do you support the friend?
There's a theater near me doing it.
Support your mental health
in like a month or 2.
But like because it's like do you like the musical or do you like
I like
Christian
one song in the
Worrell
musical.
in it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It's like, I don't, and that's
If
no
I could
diss
go
on the
back and see
musical.
this live in its original run, I might.
Yeah. The robots, when they have the robots,
Oh, I hate
Maybe.
that part.
I hated it
I mean,
too.
I'll be honest. I
but
fucking hate the Invisible Maze, but God, it has grown on me. It has really
it
grown
really
on me.
has. Yeah.
It's become the metric of a
stuck
thing we
with
used
you.
to hate, but now miss.
Yes.
Because we're like, this would be better than this shit.
Why didn't they just have the Invisible Maze? They could have solved all their problems. I'm going to give it a 1. I should be fair. And yeah, I'm going to give it a 1 just because I have no desire to ever go see it.
Roll Doll Philosophy 0. Just wanted to say
0.
Mr. Beast Wonka -3.
Yeah. I
Minus
don't follow
5,
either.
actually. -3 is 2.
Yeah, -5.
West
is a
End.
solid.
That's a. I just don't care about the West End.
I'll give it a 0 just because it happened after the musical, and I give the musical a 1. So
Yeah, it's a 0 for me as well.
with the acknowledgement that if West End had been watched first and then the other one, it'd probably be a reversed order potentially for me, just because of, again, newness.
We want to talk about the Cake Wars episode?
Yeah.
Cake Wars Wonka episode?
Yeah. I'm going to give that a 1. It did make me laugh.
Yeah.
That
it's a
horrible
1
bunny
for me.
thing. Yeah.
No, that's Face Wars. We're talking about Cake Wars with Paris Themin.
Oh, it's possibly verging on a 2. I'll keep it out of 1.
Really, because Face Wars is my preferred to Cake Wars.
Well, if we're talking about Cake Wars, I'm
Yeah.
going to put lower. Face Wars made me, because to be honest, I don't remember the Cake Wars. I
I don't
remember
remember the
hardly
Cake
anything
Wars,
from
really.
it. So honestly, I just
0,
remember there was
I
a lot of
guess.
panic and they were trying to do more, and it just
But
didn't.
plus 0.5 for Paris Themin. As
Plus
your
0.5 for Paris Themin, yes.
appearance on the podcast today. Agreed.
Friend of the podcast, Paris Themin.
He knows our names. He said our names. You guys
Oh my
heard
gosh.
it. D is for doll. Do you want to give a shout out to D is for doll?
You know what? I'll give it a
Minus-
2 because learning about all the
Wow.
shit that was on his desk
That was a 0
was
for me.
life changing. Actually, 1. You're right.
The
If I'm
Wonka
trying to
Commercials
adjust
Collective.
I just don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
know.
Maybe a 1.
1? Yeah.
So low. The Wonkanizer.
Ooh.
3.
4.
That was my gut reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, the Primus album.
Ooh. 3. I'm giving that
That's
a 3.
I'll be honest, that's a 1 for me. Oh, the Golden Ticket board game. Now, we had so much fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
Did we play it correctly? No. But that was our one episode we recorded in person, and it was exhilarating.
It was so silly. The obtaining the game, seeing
I
that
think it's
figures
a
were
6.
missing. I'm
it's
going
a
to
6.
follow you there as well. That was a 6.
Our first thing above a 5 is the Golden Ticket board game. This is a good reflection. I'm glad we're doing this.
This is good.
A Calm Sleep Story. Where do we rank this?
Fuck.
This is for me a 2, I think.
I was thinking 1 or 2. I'll bump up to a 2. I'll be generous. Because we got chocolate goats, and then again, what opened up to be the most powerful Wonka from literally like the most power from a most calming and serene source material.
Face Off, season 6, episode 10. What a doll. Now, is this Wonka related? Not particularly, but I just want to talk about it. This is a solid 3.5 for me.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
That creepy diaper baby has a
Yeah.
diaper dinosaur baby. Steve has embedded himself in my conscience. I love that guy.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they put Steve through the
hate it.
factory.
I just can't think about it, and I have no They scared me and made me feel uncomfortable, but God, they made me laugh.
Yeah,
Brings me a good giggle.
Golden Ticket Opera.
Oh no, I can't give it a 0 because I really like that the factory's live and the gargoyle, but I don't ever want to experience it as okay. If I look at it just plot wise, 1,
1, same,
which is
1.
generous from the 0 I would have given it.
Scott Frank's leaked Wonka script.
Ooh, that's gotta be a
My gut is a 6.
6. I'm gonna do 6 because
Our
they took
enjoyment
the
and
original
excitement-
source and changed it.
The mystery golden ticket to the discipline and punishment gaining factory.
Okay, the
3.
discipline.
I had so so much fun recording that episode, Elaine.
You know what? I did too. I'll give it a 2, just because
No, I think it's a 2.
the other erotica will be getting
But okay, here's the thing.
possibly a 4 for me, because that one was well written. That
the
first one
Simon
was so
Sugarman-
horribly written.
You know what? That's accurate to me, because while the Simon Sugarman Magically Turned Gay, I Want Candy is better, the Mystery Golden Ticket to the Disciplinary Punishment Caning Factory really stuck with me more.
Because the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, out of context, that's going to sound wild.
I think the spanking egg really stuck itself in my brain.
Yeah, that really did do it.
So I think,
that
that one's going to be a 3 for me.
I'll make that my 2.
The Whipple Scrumptious Joke Book.
Oh, God. Honestly, a 3. I'll
Same,
give it a
yeah.
3.
Well, actually, the book itself was so shitty, but my experience going through it was incredible.
Which, to be argued, that's kind of what a joke book is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the experience.
That's so
not
true.
just cover to cover. You hop around, and
Do you remember
I think
the Wonka website? God, who remembers the Wonka website? That's a solid... Wait, no, that had the spaghetti sculptures, though. No, that was AI. No, that was him, for real. AI said meat sculptures.
Yes. Whoa.
1.
Whoa.
The spaghetti
Yeah.
sculptures did really stick with me. I did that a lot.
I'll do 1 as well.
Magically Turned Gay, I Want Candy.
4.
For me, it's a 2, because it didn't... You know what? Honestly, it's a 1. I gotta be true to myself. It did not stick with me nearly as much, even though I know it's incredible. I think maybe because I did not read it and did not get the full impact of what you read.
Yes. Yeah. It was so shockingly, because I remember I read like the whole first page, because I was like, why is this like about to be a well-written novel? And then we go off the rails. But I had a great time. I was so happy when I found that series too.
Yeah. Pop Tropica, -2.
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance,
Shitty
Charlie
Chitty
and the
Bang
Chocolate
Bang.
Factory game. I'm giving this one a 0, yeah, just because it didn't really impact me at all.
No. Yeah.
I don't
Now, did I
feel-
like the way he crawled? Yes.
Yes, you got
and
a
that's
lot
why
out
he's
of the
not
crawling.
getting a -1. So,
Yeah. I feel like we should count Bunny in the Bowl. That's a... Wait, no, but
It's
this
like-
okay, this is separate. This is not counting in the how we're ranking Wonka Media. This is just a separate. Bunny and the Bull is a solid -1 to me.
Yeah,
Over time,
same. 'Cause,
any
like-
positives I had towards it have soured.
I like hate that I watched it. I remember how much of a endurance it took to get through it, and
And
yet,
it's not a long film.
and it's not a long film, but it feels really long. And then I have seen Simon Farnaby's Peñas, and that's
And I wouldn't wish that on any man.
that. Whoa.
Wait, that's a great question. Where does the Wonka trailer rank?
Ooh.
First
I feel like
Wonka
I have
trailer?
to give it first one. I feel like I have to give it at least a 4, just because there was so much fun sleuthing around.
I guess for me
and,
it's a 3. Yeah.
Yeah, figuring that all
Lots of
out.
zooming
It was
in.
a hilarious time of our lives when that came out. It was like the worst timing. And then
Only
I had to go
less
to a
than 6
baseball
months
game.
ago, by the way.
Fuck, that's crazy.
That's all of us has happened.
Wow.
World of Candy Match 3 game. And you're going to say I'm crazy for this,
I probably
but it's a
won't.
4.
I was also gonna say it's a 4.
It's a 4.
Why was it so good? Why was it so
Why does it have the best story?
setup? Why does it have the best story? The best factory setup, dare I say.
And we had to
Like,
watch so many fucking videos to get through it, too. That's the
we
worst
really
part.
did. Yeah. And then I got addicted to the game.
Yeah, I did too. I
That was
played it
bad.
a lot. That was really
I
scary.
I was like, Felicia, I have to stop. I played it for like a whole month after that episode, and then I forced myself to delete it. And I told myself I was going to delete it, and then a week later I actually was able to follow through. So that was bad. That was bad.
PS2 and Xbox.
Oh, 0.
Yeah, 0. Also, no thoughts. Wonka trailer number 2. That's kind of our last one. That was our last piece of official Wonka media was we did a lot of like grab bag episodes. It was like the Wonka merch episode and like the parodies, But
Yeah.
that's hard to
Yeah,
rank
those are
in
like
this method.
it kind of rehashed a lot we knew, but there was less Hugo Loompa, which I found the Hugo Loompa portions we got in the first trailer highly annoying.
And this one was better, yeah.
This one was better. I'll
a 3.
keep it at the 4. I think I gave the other one 4, so I'll just keep this one
Yeah.
at 4 as well. I think that's fair.
I guess technically this counts. The Wonka movie Mad Libs. Where's that on our ranking?
Oh,
It's a 2 for me.
1.
Yeah, it's a 2 just because it
Yeah.
kind of really cracks.
It gave us so much
cracks the
info.
giraffe milk nut. You know,
It really the giraffe
that's
milk nut.
deeply unfortunate. That's deeply unfortunate.
That's a real
Woof.
bummer.
Wolf, that's very unfortunate, isn't it? But yeah, so that's our overview. That's our hot takes. We've done this podcast for 2 years, and that's where we land on reflection. Where will Wonka get? Here's the thing. What's our prediction from a 1 to 10 where we're going to give Wonka? I'm predicting at most a 6. At most a 6.
Yeah, I was going to say a 6 or a 7. I'll
It
follow you on
can't
the
top
6.
Scott Frank.
It can't.
And again, everybody, this was a scale of 1 to 10. And in 107 episodes of this podcast, we got nothing that scored higher than a 6.
Which, like, just is such a Wonka watch thing.
Very true.
Because to rank it
And you
on
may
a scale of 1 to 5, not fair, not good. Scale of 1 to 10,
no.
you really get the granular. You understand why. You get more,
Yeah. Wow. So now we have to make any final predictions about the film. Which the weird thing is
God.
I don't know if I have any. I don't feel like I have anything that's been unsaid because
either.
I don't feel like I have any burning desires, and needs, unless we went through every prediction, which we're obviously not fucking doing. That's from post movie.
I have I kind of want to do Hail Mary chaotic things like I used to do.
Same kind of. We can say right now, before this happens, I have made 164 predictions. You've made 141. We have made 7 joint predictions, leaving us with a total of 312 predictions. Let's just do some fucking Hail Marys. Now, this may tank our score.
That's okay. There will be flute in the score. I don't know if we've actively heard, and that's separate from the piccolo that's played by the Oompa Loompa. I don't believe at this point we have heard
you done
music
that
that had flute. Have I said flute?
No,
specifically. Oh, okay. Good.
No, you have not.
It was time for a
just
musical
double-checked.
instrument. Fabulous. There will be flute.
This is tricky.
Give me a personality animal moment. You won't. You won't do it. We got a zoo. Fucking go for it, Felicia. Do it.
I think... I don't know if I made this prediction. I think Willy Wonka's going to turn humans into giraffes.
Love it.
I think
Love it.
he's going to do it.
Fuck yeah, he is. I think a balloon's gonna pop. And you can't take that away from me.
Have you not done that before?
There's so many balloons.
No, just
And
hot
I
air
swear to
balloon.
God,
That's wild. Not yet.
If not a single one pops, Felicia, I swear to God. There's so many.
Timothy Chalamet is going to fall in a dumpster.
Oh, that's good.
Now, this can tie into the clothes dirtying ones we have. We have lots of those.
We do.
But he's going to fall in a dumpster.
Does Jim Carter's character wear glasses in this? Have we seen him wearing
Yes.
glasses? In a moment of shock, his glasses will fall off his face, or you know what I mean? Like there'll be
Beautiful.
like a stumble off his face of glasses.
What's
Something
that's
crazy.
fine. That's a good. The thing is, we're like Hail Marys, and you've just given the best predictions you've given in a while.
That's wild. Oh, you should do something with the sewer. I feel like you have a lot with like the like the fountain. You know,
Timothy Chalamet's going to wriggle around on the floor like a little snake. He's going to wriggle around on the floor like a little snake.
I think there will be a waltz.
And that's going to be in the giraffe milking room.
Oh shit!
I think I'm going a lot with Timmy Wonka. I want to get crazy. Bleacher will have some secret hobby that's like not very in line with his public persona. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's good. I don't know why I wanted to say there will be a stampede of horses. I was thinking of this as a prequel for Wonka's mom, and they're hiding in a tent. So I'm not going to officially put that in there, but if that does happen, I would like a half point, please.
Yeah.
Dare I say that was a vision? So this channeling
I'm just
Wonka.
picturing what's the most insane things I could picture Timmy Wonka doing in this film.
He'll
I just
bite
picture
his
him
cane.
eating a raw fish. What?
I said he's going to bite his cane.
I was thinking about him biting his top hat. What is that? What were we thinking about that? Joint prediction. He will bite his cane or top hat.
Yes. Oh, this is good. This is good.
I was thinking he might have a nervous tick where he like eats his own
that
hair, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
I could just see
I
it.
like that we're on the same. He has the urge to, you know.
He's got an oral fixation.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm manifesting it. Timmy Wonka will wear a nightgown. Thank you. Thank you.
I want that too.
We need to cut ourselves off in a second.
Yeah. Someone's gonna fart.
Okay.
That will be officially.
What do you
my
want to be
last
your final prediction? That's your
I don't want that
official
to be my
last
final
prediction.
prediction.
Okay.
I don't. I feel so much pressure, but have we said I think someone's gonna like break a tooth?
No, I don't think so.
I will put that in there. I think it's a little bit of whimsy. It most likely won't happen, even though it should, and it'll make me sad.
I'm going to go with a Felicia classic, way too specific, and won't happen. In a pivotal scene, a raw dinner steak will be flung across the room.
What the fuck?
I thought you said Hail Marys.
That's good.
I'm hailing Mary.
Oh, that's so good.
Father
That's so
Julian will
good.
fall through a trapdoor. No, that's not my last prediction. It's the dinner steak one.
The dinner steak one is a really good one. That's really good. I think an eel will slither up onto the beach and then slither away, and it will never be discussed. And that is officially my final prediction for Wonka.
God, that one's fucking perfect, Elaine. Because there's not even a fucking beach in any of the trailers.
Yeah, no. And like,
I
I don't
love
think
that
eels,
so much.
Eels don't fucking do that. They don't fucking. But just you watch. Just
Man,
you
I feel like you really won. I don't know, but that felt like a battle, and your eel beat my dinner steak. Okay, no, here's my final prediction. After the eel slithers up onto the beach, it will eat the dinner steak that was previously flung across the piazza.
Gorgeous. That is gorgeous.
Those are our
I love
final
that.
two predictions of the podcast. Number one, an eel will slither onto a beach and it will slither away, not be discussed. And while it's slithered onto the beach, it will grab a dinner steak that was flung across the piazza. Perfect!
Perfect. And to
Perfect!
be clear,
Sealed,
and not a chaotic
signed,
mess,
and delivered.
any part of that isn't correct, it doesn't get to count. If it's a random
Exactly.
steak, it doesn't get to count. If my
It must
if my
be
eel
the steak that was flung across the piazza.
if the eel is discussed in any way or noted, it's all out. It's all game over. It's
all
if it doesn't
gone.
slither back in, game over.
We see the eel and we're like, oh my god, it's happening. And that Timmy Wonka at the end, right before the credits roll, hey, what was with that eel? And we go, no!
And then he pulls a steak out, the raw steak out of his pocket and just starts nibbling on it and walks away.
More for me.
And then the eel eats the fish that was going to jump out and slap somebody on the boat. And then
the seagull comes and grabs it out of the water.
Then they all get eaten by a whale, and that's it.
I'm so proud of us.
Me too.
That felt like the perfect ending. I feel like we really nailed our final predictions. That felt like a return to form for us.
Yeah.
And now, whatever number we had, add about 32 more to that, because that was a lot. That was way too many. That was a little scary. The prediction fallout is probably going to be like 3 fucking episodes, heads up. That's going to take a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels crazy that like this is like
The next time we're on here, we will know all.
we will be in the car after seeing Wonka. It's going to be like 2 weeks from now. We're going to be very different people.
And it's so weird because sometimes I forget you're like a 3D being, so that's also going to be wild. I'm gonna
I know, yeah.
Like I'm really
The
tall.
height
I kinda
reveal
forget
is
that.
always spooky. Yeah.
It's like I'm just so
Yeah.
tall. I remember.
So for reference, I'm 5'2" and Elena's 5'9", and it is always we do look like a little bit of a cartoon duo when we meet up IRL, and it always is a little embarrassing. I think for both of us in a weird way.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Honestly, y'all, we're about to be fucking menaces in this IHOP. I already see it. We will be in that IHOP for 2 hours. We will be.
You guys are going to be like, how much fucking content did they make in the 5 days they were together? More than you could ever imagine. Because I don't think we'll be able to stop.
No,
Because
like we're cut off from other things.
When we're
Like, do you
together,
understand?
it doesn't turn off. We're like this the whole time. This level of intensity stays consistent. So it's gonna be a little scary. We're gonna have the time built in to like watch Taskmaster and cool down.
Yeah, honestly, yeah,
That's
we're
our
gonna need to,
decompress.
yeah.
What a journey! What a journey we've had! Holy fucking shit! We're free, Elaine. We're free.
Here.
We're
free.
here and we're free. We fucking did it. You know what? High five to us. Good for fucking us.
Yes.
This was only supposed to be like a 1.5-year commitment, and it turned into a much longer commitment, and we stuck through it all. We stuck
did.
through it all, and we are here at
We
the end of
survived
the
the
day.
drought. We survived the drought of nothing.
Nothing. And we made it work.
And kudos.
Make it
Holy
work. And that's
shit.
what we did. Thank you, Tim Gunn.
Yes, thanks.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Wonka Watch. It's been quite the fucking time. And we really genuinely appreciate all of you for listening. Because, like, thank God we have not been screaming into a void this whole time, because this would have been much more sad. It
Yes,
feels
we
good
talk
to know
about
there are
that a lot,
people.
like-
We got our Spotify Wrap for Podcasters back, and so many of you listen to us, and it's so nice. We were a top podcast for like 208 people. So all 208 of you, thank you from the bottom
you
of our
so much.
little withered hearts.
Yes, it's very lovely to be able to connect with people of like all different levels of Wonka like involvement. Like,
Yes.
thank you to the people who really love Wonka, because I know we trash on it a lot, but I
We
know
appreciate it.
We know what comes with love, and it's just I'm glad that we're all like giggling and silly, and
It's very
just
lovely.
been such a delight getting to hear from all of you, and have honestly like dragged some of you into this that you never would have listened to or interacted with Wonka. I'm glad that we've gotten to use this as a
glad
great
we've corrected you.
escapism.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to follow us, you can do so on Instagram and TikTok at Wonka Watch. You can email us at wonkaraptor@gmail.com. Now, remember, this is the last time we're recording before the movie comes out. So we just, if you send stuff there that's like news and stuff, we're just not going to get to it until the movie comes out. That's all. If you want to send us spoilers about the movie, please say that there's spoilers in your episode, in your
Subject
email
title.
topic, because then we can open it later. We're
Yes,
fine with you
yeah.
sending us your first reaction to the film, but just throw a little spoiler tag on there for us so we can avoid it until the time comes. With that all being said, if you want to, this would be a great time to share the podcast with your friends, because the Wonka Raptor is about to happen, and it's good that people are made aware. It's important. And if you want to support us for these 2 years of hard work, you can go over to buymeacoffee.com/WonkaWatch and support us over there. But we do have somebody to thank today, and that is our listener, Cecily. And Cecily also brought our attention to Joann's Fabrics. Apparently they have a Wonka line. They said, today I was at Joann's and I totally got jump scared by their officially licensed Wonka fabric. So if anyone wants to make like a cursed Wonka quilt or something, go to Joann's, I guess. And I'll be honest, they were weirdly tasteful,
Oh,
I thought.
that's kind of shocking.
Compared
'cause I
to
feel like-
most of the Wonka fabric we have to look at, I thought these were
Yes.
fine.
Oh,
I didn't hate
intriguing.
them. I didn't get immediately disgusted by them. So you guys
for
can check
them.
that out if you want. It's not current Wonka. It's 1971 Wonka, to be clear. To give this little song for Cecily, Elaine, you have one called "The Black Cat," and this is very in your comfort zone. I think you're gonna like this one.
Boy. It was a dark evening. I was sitting by the window, looking out on the city, looking out on this town. But the sky started to turn purple, and my feelings turned blue. And there was only one person who could save us. And that person was you. Cecily heard about the Wonka rapture and gathered up a bunch of pitchforks to stab the sky. It didn't make sense, but that's alright, because Cecily was all about saving the world, and it might be unbothered to this wonderful Wonka scholar, but all I can say is thank you so much, oh Cecily. Nothing rhymes with much, kerplutch. And that was the last song before the movie.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Whoa.
So Cecily,
Thank
you
you,
got a great
Cecily.
episode. You got a great one.
You got one heck of a banger.
But at the end of the day, we've done all this. It's still not that important. I want to be very clear. There are
just so not
much more
important.
important things going on in the world right now. Like, very much more important.
Oh my god, yeah. You go back to like even the middle school stuff. Like I have to go to a 9 to 5 tomorrow. Like
I know,
this
yeah.
part of my life is like my dark secret. No one, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no
It
one
doesn't
in
matter.
Elaine's life knows about this. This is on my resume.
Yeah.
We're living very different lives.
It doesn't matter also because like no other media outlet has mentioned us, which I both do and don't want to happen.
It's kind of freeing.
you know?
Honestly, I'm kind of glad
It
it
is
didn't
freeing.
happen. It's nice.
Me too. But
I feel
Paris
like there's no
Lemon,
eyes on us except for
that
Paris
was
Lemon.
important. That was important.
That was
And
important. Thank you, Luke. and
Kind of
thank you, Paris
fulfilling
Lemon.
in a way. Thank you, Paris
And it
Lemon.
feels good to look
thank
back,
you, Luke.
even though it's not that important. I think us rating none of them above a 6 shows how not
really
important this
Fucking
was.
hilarious.
And like the highest a Wonka ranked at all was a 7. Now, if we ranked Wilfred Wonka, he would have been a 10 because he's
Would have been a
perfectly
10.
catered to both of our tastes. So
He is a 10. Yes.
he is a 10. But everyone else, it's just not that important.
It's not that important.
We'll see you after the rapture, everyone.
Goodbye.